Today's show is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's Podgo at podgo.co. Podgo, that's where the pods go.
Hello and welcome to the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Here we go. We're off and running with yet another new episode of the Infectious Groove Podcast. My name is Russ, and along with me is Kyle and Michelle, as always. And I'm just asking Kyle this week, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
good. Okay,
good.
So
Yeah.
We're all set. Good. Good.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Boy, howdy. We sure are off and running. Hooray. We are going to get into a topic we've kind of touched on before about things we listened to when we were kids, but I thought it would be neat to talk about how our tastes have changed since we were kids, or if they have. There's one aspect of it that made me think of this is me. I can't stand the phrase like guilty pleasure or saying that you like grew out of something.
Yeah.
But I think it does apply to some things. You know, so we'll get into it. Guilty pleasures, I should say, don't for me. Like, I don't believe in them. Like, I just like what I like. I feel like there probably is a couple of things that I've grown out of, you know, that I was like, I loved that when I was a kid, and then now not so much, you know. So anyways, we are going to discuss that in a little bit. Goings on around us, we had the new YouTube videos go up this week. As always, we hit just over 300 subscribers on the YouTube page so far, which is really good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. If you're subscribed to the page, please make sure you hit like on the videos, because that helps us out way more than you have any idea how much it helps. It helps a great deal. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube page, please do that. And Kyle and Michelle made their YouTube video debut this week, sort of. Because
I did.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it.
It's footage of you sleeping.
Well, shit.
Yeah. No, but I put up our entire episode that we did with Jeff Scott Soto, and y'all are in that.
Yeah.
So it's not video, it's just audio, but
Thank God.
your voice, the magic of your voice is finally available for everyone on YouTube. So how are you all holding up with the weather going on up here in Michigan? Because it is normal, at least for us, right?
Yeah.
Shoveling sucks.
Yeah, this has been the only like really bad couple weeks all winter, so I think I can take it.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be okay. We actually put out on Twitter the other day, like, we are conscious of what's going on in the South, and it really sucks. So
Yeah.
We kind of talked about, like, I have some pre-recorded copy that Manscaped, our sponsor, gives us to read, and like it's all based around being funny to do with snowstorms and whatnot. And we, right before we hit record, we were like, well, we probably shouldn't set it up and be funny this week. So you know, so I am going to run our like pre-recorded copy, and there is some humorous snowstorm in there. Nobody take this as us thinking that anything going on is humorous. So we'll run that real quick, and then we'll get into some.
We're not Ted Cruz. So.
We have so much feedback to share this week, and we have some Michelle-centric feedback this week. So here we go.
My favorite
You're
feedback.
in the thick of winter, and the storms are brewing. It looks like 1 to 3 inches are in the forecast when you trim that situation that's taking place in your pants. Luckily, our partners at Manscaped specialize in products to make sure you're walking around town with beautiful snowballs. Manscaped is here to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience, offering precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. The Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Due to the ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, snags will be reduced. The trimmer is also waterproof, so you can trim anywhere. Manscaped's Performance Package is the best buy of 2021. The Performance Package comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag. You ever noticed how nasty nose and ear hair is? Well, might as well use the best tools to do the job. The bundle also comes with a Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. The Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing deodorant that will make your balls smell nice and make you feel like your testes are walking in a winter wonderland. The Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner. It's made with soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts that will make your balls look up and say, thanks. Get 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com if you use our code IGP20. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com only if you use our code IGP20. Thanks, Manscaped, for making our winter wieners look so good. I like how this is like the third time you've heard that pre-recorded copy, and it gets funnier.
So I also want to talk back to it because I think it's actually you talking, and I keep being like, no,
Even
shut
though
up.
you physically can see me not talking.
I wasn't looking at you.
Fantastic. All right. Manscaped.com, IGP20, and get free shipping and 20% off with our code. And we have quite a bit of awesome feedback to get to, so let's do it.
Feedback, Joe.
Don't worry about that. Right. There's rock and roll without feedback.
So I kind of put out the bat symbol and was like, hey, I just need some feedback on this episode. So some of this is going to seem kind of like disjointed.
Forced?
You know, 'cause it's, well, no, not forced. It's just going to be like disjointed because it's just random feedback that came in from people throughout the week. Number one was, and there was a lot of divisive feedback on this, but the common theme was this one that I picked, which is Metallica never sold out. That was just a controversial time. Metallica rolled the dice and hit another market. And you and I were agreeing with that.
Yep.
It is what it is. People think that they on purpose tried to get into a whole different market, and I just don't see it that way at all. So, and they absolutely rolled the dice. That could have went south about 7 different ways, but it ended up being in one of these days we're going to cover 1991 as a year, because I think it's one of that and 1984. I think are the 2 best years in the history of music, and 91 was just loaded with huge albums.
Yeah.
And the fact that Metallica was able to push through
Right.
was really, really, to me, more of a gamble than it was a selling out issue. Another one, I cannot believe we didn't mention Kiss, because holy crap.
Oh my God. Yeah. Damn. How did we forget?
I don't ever. So Kiss for me, which I'm sure is not true, but they've always been a like.
Oh, yeah.
Not a band that I took seriously. So I don't
Right.
think that they ever sold out. I just
Well,
feel like that's their entire career.
We got some feedback from
Why
a
do
guy
you look
named
at me like that?
we got some feedback from a guy named Dean, who reminded me that because Kiss was out like a little before I was born, and then like through
Wow,
the
they're
Kiss,
old.
right? The Kiss that I grew up with in the 80s was like an entirely different band than what they blew up on. But what they blew up on was essentially like, I don't want to call it metal, but like rock. It wasn't pop, but it was rock, like
Yeah.
Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, that type of stuff. But then they just put out I Was Made for Loving You, which is a straight up disco song, like flat out. Like, and this was when it was still the original 4 and the makeup and everything. So Dean pointed that out. He was like, they put out I Was Made for Loving You and gained a whole bunch of new fans, but all the older fans were like, but rock music. No.
Right.
And Gene and Paul were like, yeah, but Cash.
Yeah, I agree with Michelle. To me, they've always been just kind of like gimmicky. So like, I
That's
never
the word.
like actually took them like as a real
They
band.
sold air guitar strings.
So Kiss had or still does have a mini golf place in Las Vegas. And we went there years ago when they were doing like a soft grand opening. They didn't even have their liquor license yet. And they openly encouraged us to, and we did brown bag it. Like we went to the liquor store next door and just bought stuff, and we're walking around this thing. Anyways, so I was going through the gift shop, because of course there's a gift shop at this Kiss mini golf. And I jokingly said out loud to my wife, well, I bet as soon as Gene comes here, the first thing he'll do is make sure everything is priced right. And the girl that works there was like, oh, that's exactly what happened when they came here for the final inspection. Like Gene went right to the gift shop and was like, I need to make sure that this is marked at $4.99.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we had listener Smoke gave us some names, and there's some heavy hitters on here. Chicago, Chicago was like a jazz blues band in the 70s, and then all of a sudden became the soundtrack kings, light rock in the 80s. So I get that. Kiss, again, getting the name check. Ozzy, which I always forget, like pretty much as soon as the Osbournes happened, I think pretty much every Ozzy fan was like, all right. And I always kind of forget about that.
I never thought about it like
he
that.
He went back to like his old persona, but I could hear that. Cher got name checked, and I feel like Cher's always been commercial. And the last 2 he put on his list was Cher and Celine Dion, and I felt like both of them have always kind of been.
Yeah.
They're both. I picture them in Vegas, always doing like huge production numbers, and like they don't.
Right.
I think that's how their whole career has been.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
But I get there's a cross section of Celine fans who did come to her first with her French albums. So maybe that, like when she went.
Do what now?
Oh boy, yeah. So Celine Dion is French Canadian.
I know that.
And had a whole career in music with French speaking albums.
So because she changed languages, that's selling out?
You should go to Twitter and take it up with the user. I'll have to set feedback. Here's another one that I thought was fun. Another great episode where Russ makes me question if he's actually my spirit animal. Great entertainment value, and the entire crew delivers as always. Between the eye rolls you can hear and the well thought out stances on the topic at hand. It really gets you thinking about who and what is a sellout. So I thought that was fantastic feedback that we got. A person pointed this out, and I want to say this was several people that pointed this out, was a lot of people, the hardest thing that they had was defining what a sellout is.
Yeah, man.
Right? And so a lot of people were like, which, by the way, you so lost on the Maroon 5 argument. Like, everybody who replied was like, I can't define what a sellout. Well, I mean, Maroon 5 is, but.
All week long, every time we're in the car, Kyle will be like, and another thing, they're not a sellout.
Right. But it was just, what was funny was almost everybody who was like, I have a hard time defining it. They were like, well, I mean, Maroon 5 is, but.
We don't know what it is, but,
yeah,
they did it.
But they did it. But like, for example, this person said, I have a hard time defining it. Some are obvious. Maroon 5, yes. Metallica, no. But anyways, others are not that clear. Let me put it this way. If Rage Against the Machine pops up in a commercial, oh boy. That's what the actual
for sure.
feedback says, yeah. And then we had James Porter gave us a whole lot of really good feedback about the same thing, being challenged about figuring out what a sellout is. But one thing, he gave a lot of pushback. He doesn't like the term legacy act at all. He thinks that's like derogatory, like if somebody becomes legacy act. And I would argue that like it's not my fault that that's a derogatory term. Like if you decide,
we can call them old instead.
Yeah, well, his thing was like they're still supporting an industry that whenever, and again, we'll just use the Eagles. If the Eagles do a tour, they're supporting concert venues and the people that work there and all that stuff. Like all that's happening because the Eagles decided to do a tour. And for me, that's all fine and good. But like you're still beating the same old songs to death, and you're still bringing
that's my problem is that they beat the same stuff to death the entire time.
Do something new, man.
Right. Solid. Let me see here. Oh, here's a really good point out. We had the Ever Trending Story, which is actually a new podcast that people should check out. Garrett from that show said, I loved Fits and the Tantrums at first.
Oh, yeah, totally.
After that, their sound devolved into a more generic radio pop with some hints of their past glory. Couldn't, that's not like Kiss level. Like when I read that, I wasn't like, oh, how do we leave them out? But yeah, dead on.
They're a label band, aren't they? Weren't they pulled together?
Yeah, more or less.
But I totally get it.
But there's still a gigantic difference between what they did first.
Oh, for sure.
That's true.
Let's see here.
That was one of my favorite concerts, I think.
Here was some general feedback on the YouTube channel and the show kind of all wrapped in one. Great video. Just watched it while making breakfast. Every time I listen to you and the show, all I want to do is go and listen to music, which is absolutely our intent, which is awesome. Now, here comes Michelle's favorite part of the show.
I've been waiting
when
patiently.
we get to the Michelle-centric, well, you're not going to like one of them. And actually, I'll do them in order. I like listening to the show, and I like that Michelle has finally embraced being the heel. She used to drive me nuts, but I actually appreciate her contributions now.
So, what a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. And Michelle, a response?
I am the heel.
and
she does drive
your
us
full
nuts.
intent is to drive everyone nuts?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the instigator. That's what my mom tells me.
Yeah. We should have your mom on as a guest one week.
She would not like all the F words.
And so somebody quoted us on Twitter, because whenever I put the thing like new episode, somebody quoted it and put LMAO, Michelle with her opinions on ticket prices had me dying. And I replied to that, and I said, Michelle thinks every concert should cost $20. Furthermore, they should only do the songs that she wants to hear, and that's it. And the person replied, yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
See? Like, even if it's just the one song, like, I'll pay $20 for one song, or 10 songs, or 20 songs.
And just bounce out.
Yeah, that's it.
And, like, don't worry about whatever anybody else wants to hear, or, like, what songs might be important
and also,
what songs might be important to the artist, or
you lost me.
That's not Michelle-centric
But I will
enough.
make up for it in beer sales. You can charge me $10 a beer.
Not right now.
As in, like, because there's no concerts?
No, as in because of the child growing inside you. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, the Kyle bump? Come on.
Yeah, the Kyle bump. All right, moving right along.
Music news.
Oh, I hope all this is less Michelle-centric. Holy cow.
I was trying to debate on in which order I was going to do these, but I think I'm just going to...
Oh, you hit the right button this time.
I did.
Yay!
I'm just going to rattle them off.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Demi Lovato has a new documentary coming out March 23rd. Yes, which I am absolutely going to watch as well.
I like her.
It comes out March
23rd.
If you catch me on March 24th, I will tell you that I've seen it twice.
If you catch him on March 23rd, he's going to tell you he's seen it twice.
It's called Dancing with the Devil, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and there is trailer footage and whatnot available on YouTube.
I watched the trailer right before you guys walk in, and oh boy.
No.
Because, I kind of have a personal thing with this because, you know how people are very cynical, and for a good reason. You know, a lot of what's presented to us from celebrities just is not even remotely close to real. And when things went down with her, where that last huge relapse that she had, it just felt different. Like, it felt very real and very serious to me. And almost everybody I knew was like, "Oh, that's all for attention," or whatever. And I just was like, "No, I'm pretty sure this is real." So for me, this is like a whole documentary about exactly how real this was and how just from the trailer alone, it was way worse than we even thought it was.
Yeah.
And it's also so irritating to me that celebrities have to come out and put a movie out about how they're having the same shit that happens to everybody else that happens to them to prove that it's a real thing that's happened to them.
It's because of the rest of the industry.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just I can't wait. I can't wait till it comes out. I want to check it out.
I'm stoked. What else is going on?
Eminem set a
wonderful streaming record.
Yes, a new streaming record that Michelle thinks is weird.
I certainly wouldn't call it weird.
It's just a weird thing to have a record for.
The song "Till I Collapse" is the most streamed song that was not a single.
It has 1,264,717 plays as of
that is crazy.
3:36 on
what
220.
What is the mouse pointing at? Now, here's what I want to do. I want to go back and see what the numbers were on Till I Collapse in the third week of January 2020, because I think it's obvious that song has only blown up because we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And our first episode came out in the third week of January 2020. So I don't want to be rude and overstate things, but I'm going to guess that it probably had around 100,000 plays probably before we started talking about it.
Easy, only 100,000.
Yeah.
I think no one's ever even heard of the song.
Yeah, most people probably skipped it. Yeah. And then once we started talking about it, boom.
That's true.
You know, so I mean,
secondly, Eminem also just re-released all of his old music videos in higher quality on YouTube. So
look at you dancing around my because we talked about this before we went on air, and I get so uppity about HD stuff, and so Kyle was like higher quality.
They put out like some little commercial thing for it, and it shows like the before and after. And I was like,
I haven't looked at them yet. They very well might be actually HD, but my thing is like knowing record labels, probably not.
And also, like, I'm a video person, but like it's an old music video. I don't need to see it in.
It also depends on what size screen you're watching. I watch. Damn it, Michelle. I watch a lot of YouTube on TV. Yeah. Like, I use the app on my TV a lot, but I have to assume 90% of people that watch YouTube are using their 7-inch phone, right? Yep. I don't care who you are.
No,
you can't tell the difference between
matter on a phone.
Standard definition and full definition.
I can't tell the difference between my phone and my TV.
I used to work in the TV industry, and actually there's like stats out there about like basically like under 32 inches, you can't really tell the difference between 720p and 1080p, and anybody who tells you otherwise is full of it.
Yeah.
Let alone 4K. So most people are watching this stuff on their phones.
Yeah,
so.
And you have all the cell phones that come out like 4K AMOLED, like all these screens, and I'm like, it's a phone.
Yeah.
Like what?
Whoa, all 6.5 inches, huh? Sweet.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Manscaped.com, IGP20. So, there's something else besides the super cool Eminem news.
Yes.
Not weird at all, Michelle?
Just a little weird.
It's not weird. It's huge. Okay, let me put this in your backyard. So if you, right. So you like Mumford & Sons. Let's say that instead of "I Will Wait" off of their second record, some random song,
that dumb song you like,
everyone that's not on their second record. It's not a dumb song. Also, so let's say that just some song that you love that's on that record that was not a single, had no you found out a billion other people love that song so much they play it all the time.
It's mine.
Okay, go on, Kyle.
The latest group to cash in on selling all of their musical stuff for money is the Beach Boys.
Yeah,
their musical stuff for money.
They keep doing this thing where it's undisclosed amounts, but they
only have estimates of how much they got.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. Not billions, but hundreds of millions of dollars that's got to cost to get the Beach Boys rights. I mean,
and it's just these big investment groups that are just collecting all of these these royalties or all these catalogs of
people's... And it goes back to the first time I ever heard of that was GNR made a deal with Sanctuary back in like 07 or 08 or something like that. And it was the first time that I ever heard of anyone doing that type of thing. And I think theirs was like a limited so many year deal or whatever else. But like a lot of other acts, and especially since the pandemic, they're like, we don't have any other revenue stream to come in. So they're cashing in on it. You know?
And I will say, I'm glad that it's another group that's been around for a long time. So they don't have anything more to prove. It's Beach Boys. They just...
I plug this all the time on the show, but if you want to know how much Brian Wilson deserves to reap the benefits of what he's been through, watch the movie Love and Mercy.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
And then tell me that guy doesn't deserve the right to just cash in. Like Mike Love can go fuck himself, you know, because he's Mike Love. But I'm all in it for however much Brian Wilson and the Dennis Wilson estate are going to benefit off of this. So,
totally.
All right, cool. We have slowly made it through our first couple of segments. And I've heard so I'm already pretty excited about this next segment, trust me. Our jammies. Mine are kind of short and sweet. One is a 90s song that I've had stuck in my head. This happens to me quite a bit with this song, but there's a song by a band, a little-known 90s band called The Refreshments, and the song is called Banditos, and it's just a really catchy rock song.
Who sings the theme song for Friends?
Not The Replacements.
Rembrandts?
Yes, the Rembrandts.
Okay.
Yep.
Not the same people. Got it.
The Replacements is Tommy Sinton. The Refreshments is these guys, and the Rembrandts are the guys from...
Okay, go on.
Yeah. But anyways, so I just love this song, Banditos. And if you're hearing me say that and you go, oh, I love that song, you know, if not, then you've probably never heard it in your whole life, and it'll be on our playlist. And it's just a great 90s jam. If I started it, you would be like, oh, you've played that for me a lot, but you probably never heard it from anywhere other than me. And actually, there's a whole weird thing where the band changed their name to something entirely different after that, and still never had any more hits. Like, this is the only hit they ever had. Anyways, band that does have a lot of hits that I've been on timeout with has been the Foo Fighters.
Why?
Because they put out their masterpiece, Wasting Light, an album that they will never top, in like 2010. It's like, or 11. It's hands down the best album the Foo Fighters will ever make. And then since then, they put out 2 for sure, if not 3, that should just be called Foo Fighters album, and the songs should just be called a Foo Fighters song 1, a Foo Fighters song 2. Like, zero creativity, like no chances taken. And their latest record, I didn't listen to anything off of it because I was like, you know, fool me once and I'm not going for it. And some resources that I trust a great deal all said the same thing completely independently of each other. Like, all 3 of them were like, this is way different than what they've done before. Like, it sounds like they're trying to be creative again, you know, and that type of thing. So I ended up blind buying it because I was like, you guys know how I am. If I'm going to listen to a whole record, I'd rather do it on vinyl first if possible.
Yeah.
So I didn't listen to any of it ahead of time, and I blind bought the LP. And it is easily head and shoulders above the things they've done since Wasting Light. I wouldn't say it's any better than Wasting Light, but it's probably the most creative record they've made so far. It's really, 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 really good.
Dave Grohl's daughter's on it too.
Yeah. And it's called Medicine at Midnight, and I will pick, I don't know, a bunch. I think the whole album's only like 36 minutes long or something. So we can just put the whole thing on the playlist. So what are you listening to, Kyle?
It is yours was just an album too. So it's an album this time, and I know Michelle, that's Michelle's favorite part, is having to ask me which songs from the album to put on.
Well, he plays them all.
She mentions that on a regular basis, yeah.
But Yellow Wolf and Kasky put out a new album. It's called Yellow Wolf Black Sheep, and goddamn.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I knew that I would be able to rely on Yellow Wolf to come through with good stuff, but I wasn't really... I've been an on and off fan of Caskets for a long time, and like,
but you were worried about the off part.
Yeah, and I wasn't really sure. He doesn't really put out stuff consistently, and never mainstream, like as far as like being with like another big artist. Yep. So I really wasn't sure what to expect.
But you're all in.
He holds it up. He holds it up there with Yellow Wolf. So
what's the name of the album?
It's called Yellow Wolf Black Sheep.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Okay, sweet. I'm almost scared based on the pre-show discussion, but I will throw it over to Michelle. Michelle, what are you, Jamie James?
No.
Oh. Michelle!
There you go.
What are you, Jamie Jams? The whole world's waiting.
I think you got it that time.
I think you did. Well, first I have a correction.
Oh, boy.
So last week I said that the Shaky Grave song Roll the Bones was a new song, and it is not. He had originally recorded it back in 2011 and released it on Bandcamp.
Did you confirm if it's a Rush cover?
It is not a Rush cover.
Okay.
I actually did go listen to like 3 seconds of the Rush song, and I was like, no.
So when I always give you the list of the songs, I put that on there just as a joke. I was like, if nothing else, she'll have to listen to it. And then I was like, oh, she's going to listen to 3 seconds of that song and keep going.
Yes. So he recorded it like officially, like it was kind of like a live acoustic sort of thing that he did originally, and then is releasing it on vinyl actually pretty soon. So it's not, I thought it was a new song, but it is not. And then for this week, I had a podcast week, but
please don't whisper about it.
Well, you're gonna get mad. It was mostly podcast this week, but I started listening to a podcast called Wind of Change, which is about the Scorpion song "Wind of Change" and if it's actually a CIA plant to end the Cold War.
That's one of those things where when I heard about that podcast probably about a year ago, and I like the whole time I was reading the description, I was just like, what?
It came out in May, and the whole season's up, and I forgot it existed, and then it came up on my Spotify, and I was like, oh my god, I totally wanted to listen to this. And now the song,
and do you
Wind
personally like the song?
I don't know that I like it. It's just there for me, but it's been stuck in my head all week. Yeah,
the chord, like with the take me, like I like that, and I'm not a Scorpions fan at all.
Yeah,
like not even a little bit. Like they're one of those bands that when I was a kid, man, people love the Scorpions. Yeah, and I was just like, no, and then that song came out, and I was like, oh, all right, here we go. And I don't even do they cover who wrote it? Did the Scorpions write that, or
so that's the whole thing is that yes, supposedly, but they're saying that it's not the Scorpions who wrote it. Klaus did not write it. So
that's by the way, that's my favorite thing from the conversation earlier this week was she's like, I didn't know the Scorpions were German, and I was like, Klaus. She was like, well, I didn't know that was his name.
I said, I just learned that was his name. That's a good name. It's a good, solid German name.
Then again, their guitar player, who's very famous in and out of the Scorpions, is Michael Schenker. So like, it's not like that. Like Klaus and Michael, those two typical German names.
Also, they don't sound German at all when they sing.
Yeah, and it's funny. Klaus, as soon as he speaks, very German. But when he sings, not at all.
They talk a little bit about just the band in general in the first episode, and they're like, it's this weird German hair band that also sings in English, and like it was just very weird for that time period in Germany to have this band. But they were big over there, and they were big over here. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, really, pretty much after Wind of Change. That's off of, I think the album's called Crazy World. But anyways, after that, they pretty much died out in the U.S. like they didn't have, which is kind of
the CIA, man.
Well, it's the whole grunge came along and wiped out pretty much everything that was cool in the 80s. Do
they still do anything?
The Scorpions? Oh yeah, they like put out a symphonic live album, and they still put out new records.
It is a great band name too.
Yeah, it's a great band name. Yeah, like when I was a kid, I was like, hell yeah. Then I heard Rock You Like a Hurricane. I was like, oh, never mind.
I would like to be rocked like a hurricane.
Everyone loves that song but me, though. Like, literally, that's one of those tunes. Everyone loves that song but me. And then somebody ruined the actual GNR song, Chinese Democracy, for me when it first came out. A friend of mine was like, oh, that sounds like Rock You Like a Hurricane because the main riff on Chinese is like similar to Rock You Like a Hurricane. No. I was so mad.
Is it like when I ruined NWA for you?
Yep. It's just like that.
You're welcome.
All right, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how our tastes have changed since we were a kid. I'm sure a lot of people listening had that happen as well. We'll be back in a minute. You are listening to the Infectious Groove Podcast on the Odd Pods Media Network.
Hi, I'm Sam.
I'm Richie.
And I'm Little Matt.
And here at the 500 Section Lounge, we have a few requirements.
First, you've got to be able to talk about anything at all.
Secondly, you need to be able to laugh, play games, and talk to some very interesting people.
From sports radio personalities to reality television contest finalists and everything in between, we talk to them all.
Yeah, it's all right here in the lounge.
So be on the lookout for what we do next.
And always be there to
grab a listen.
Hey there, we're BFYTW Podcast. I'm Pantsless Aaron, I'm the host, and we are three silly people playing very silly games for fakey points that don't count for anything. Our permanent team captains are a veteran and a podcaster, and a veteran podcaster, it's Stevie.
Hey guys, it's Midnight Smoke here. I love being funny, goofy, and I'm here for your entertainment.
And his permanent opponent, my oldest friend and a gamer and a storyteller, it's Jorge.
Hey guys, Jorge here, HH_Empire, and I am the logical voice to this Maelstrom of Chaos, sometimes.
Well, if you like silly people playing silly games, then you want to come hang out with us at BFYTW Podcast every week. That's BFYTWpodcast.com.
Hello there. Do you like real-life historical tales? If so, have I got the perfect podcast for you. My name is Alice, and I host the Backtracker History Show, Based in the UK, this self-confessed geek takes you for a stroll down memory lane and shares stories and interesting nuggets of information that has been discovered along the way. From tales of tragedy and sadness to epic stories of human courage or creativity, there are many people in history who have made their mark, however small. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, and remember to leave a rating or review if you can. If you want to find out more, you can get in touch with me via Twitter or Facebook using @BacktrackerUK with a capital V, capital T, and a capital UK. But until then, take care, guys, and look after each other.
And we're back, and there was a flurry of Googling and whatnot. Did you actually look up what you were supposed to look up, or did you instead launch into the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what had happened was I picked up my phone and then there was a message.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be expected to press through in the face of bright, shiny things.
It was Miss Piggy doing something.
Okay, well, you look it up while Kyle and I kick the segment
Piggy
off.
doing something.
Holy cow. For anybody listening, if the things in your house just started to rumble, it's because Michelle's Googling something for herself. And the slight rumble you're feeling is hell freezing over. Holy cow. So what I wanted to talk about was how our tastes have changed since we were kids. So I think one of the reasons why all three of us are so passionate about music is because I feel like the three of us had parents who listened to good stuff. Mm-hmm. When I grew up, I knew a lot. Good Lord. The Google's results are in. We'll get to it in a minute. So when I grew up, I had a lot of friends who were like, always like, this is going to be the first episode where I tell a lot of lies. I was going to see how I could get it if I could slip that one past you. See, that's the thing. I waited till she was distracted with Google.
You still couldn't get it past
tried to slide that one by. But anyways, the friends that I had were always like mad at what their parents listened to. Like they did not want, it was either two things. Either their parents listened to somebody that was a really good artist, but they were just like, well, I'm not listening to that because it's my parents and that makes it not cool, right?
Yeah.
Or a lot of my friends their parents listened to stuff that sucked, like that wasn't good. And so they automatically went away from what their parents listened to. And I feel like all three of us, like whenever you're like, my mom used to listen to that or whatever, like it's always good, you know?
I used to just get mad when my mom listened to stuff that I was listening to. Like she would like turn on the Dixie Chicks and I was
so
like,
you.
No, or like, I think she like Three Doors Down at one point and I was like, that's my music.
You get mad when your mom was listening to My Chem.
Yeah, I know. She was singing I'm Not Okay. Just driving me to school.
Right. So I like starting with you, Kyle, like what did you mostly listen to just as a little kid? What was maybe not your number one artist, but what do you remember listening to most when you were a kid?
If I was with my dad, it was always whatever was on the riff. So there was like Metallica and White Zombie.
So 14 Led Zeppelin songs.
Yeah, anything that they still play on the riff was what they played back then. So.
You ain't bullshit either.
So all of that, and then if I was with my mom, it was Elvis or
a little MJ in there too.
Elvis, Michael Jackson, all that kind of stuff.
And it's like well-rounded. And for me, it was like my dad was like straight up country and western guy. Like if there was a song about the wife leaving and the dog dying, my dad, that was his jam and he would listen to it all the time. And you know, my dad, his side of the family is all from like the hills of Tennessee. You know, so like it makes sense, you know, and he was into all of that type of stuff. I think the closest he even got to pop music would be like Simon and Garfunkel and like John Denver, and John Denver was still very country.
Yeah.
But my mom was strictly what they called oldies at the time, which was like all Motown. Like if Motown made it, my mom had it on repeat.
That's awesome.
Constantly. And there was some stuff like, again, she liked Simon and Garfunkel as well and whatnot, but like I feel like that's a really good base to start with.
Yeah.
You know. So besides Three Doors Down, what else was your mom rocking?
Are you talking about music that obviously that my parents listened to, so like before I had a choice?
But like, you also latched onto though. Like,
it was Fleetwood Mac and Bob Seger and ZZ Top and Phil Collins. Just a lot of old rock, I guess.
So what of that stuff what's the first time that you went away from that, like that you started to listen to your own stuff? And actually, sub question, when you did that, was it like I don't want to listen to that stuff anymore, I want to listen to what's mine? Or was it like, I'm going to listen to that and also this stuff's going to be mine?
I think so. I was actually trying to think about this the other day, and I think it was influenced by other friends, and I was just like, this is cool. And I think it was Weird Al where it started from, and then I got into the Mickey Unwrapped, and then also Kermit Unplugged, which is actually a thing.
That's not real. I swear. Okay, so a couple of minutes ago, I was like, we'll have the results from. Okay, so I just thought someone just made that. That's not a Photoshop?
No.
Okay, so apparently we have an interactive segment of our show right here. People can Google Kermit Unplugged and see the cover of this record.
She Drives Me Crazy, Daydream on Broadway, Born to Be Wild, Mr. Spaceman,
I like
Wild Thing, Being Green is
I like
on there.
like Steppenwolf, The Trugs, and then Fine Young Cannibals.
Can't Get Along Without You, All Together Now. So they're all. I absolutely had the CD, and then
Mickey Unwrapped.
Yeah, Mickey Unwrapped, and then those are the ones that I can remember being.
I wonder
like,
if Mickey Unwrapped is up to 1 billion streams now.
I can remember my parents like those are things that they would never listen to. Like they're just like, okay, it's like little kid music.
Wait, your parents didn't listen to Kermit the Frog singing?
Your parents were somehow better than Mickey Unwrapped.
Yes,
but in all sincerity, one thing that you pointed out, and a lot of people don't. Well, I think Weird Al is insanely underrated across the board, but nobody gives Weird Al credit for diversity.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if you listen to any Weird Al album, there's like 7 different styles of music on there, and it can really expand your music tastes. I had a really diverse set of tastes, and so when I listened to Weird Al, I was super happy that all of the different types of music was represented on the record. But I know a lot of people, like I knew a guy in the mid-90s when Bad Hair Day came out, and it had the lead single was Amish Paradise, but on that is Phony Calls, which is TLC Waterfalls, and it's hilarious, by the way. But I got into TLC when Ain't Too Proud to Beg came out, off the first record, and he wanted like nothing to do with TLC at all. Like they just were not his jam. But he loved Weird Al, and when he heard Phony Calls, he like got into TLC because of that song. So yeah, I didn't even think about that, but Weird Al would have had a huge impact on me as far as that goes too.
Yeah, I just feel like it was something fun. Like it wasn't, just as a kid, like, and it was funny and you could sing along to it and it was the beat that you already knew. And so like, I think that's kind of, not that Mickey Unwrapped and Kermit Unplugged are the same thing, but they're songs that I knew sung by a
Speaking of which, we've touched on the Rock Hall quite a bit. When are Mickey and Kermit going in?
I keep petitioning.
What's the release date of Kermit Unplugged? Because it's got to be 25 years from the release of your album. So if it's been 25 years and Kermit's not in, like I think we need to start that petition.
It was released in 1994.
Okay, so he's eligible now.
Yeah.
So # where's Kermit? You know what I'm saying? So for you, Kyle, like what was that? Like what was the thing that you started to veer off of just what you were hearing around? Like you started to make not the first album you bought, but the thing where you were like, oh, this is my taste.
Oh, that was not my taste.
What, Kermit? Yes, it was. Kermit's still your taste.
I don't know when. See, I still listen to all of that stuff today.
So, well, and that was my next question was, what was your thing that your folks, like, I don't want to say they wouldn't listen to.
At first, so anything like rap and R&B.
Okay.
Aside from like, my mom did listen to some R&B stuff, like other stuff besides like.
Your mom listened to a lot of Too Short.
Other stuff besides like Michael Jackson. She veered into like some of the R&B stuff.
Yeah.
Tony Braxton and that kind of stuff. Whitney Houston and that kind of stuff. But once I was able to get a taste of like hip hop and rap, and I was like, oh man, like I need more of this, and I don't get any of this at home.
We talked about this on the show before. Would that have been about the time No Way Out came out?
Around that time. Yeah.
Okay, so 96, 97.
That was my first album. The edited version of the album was the first album that I was ever able to like get for myself.
That was like yours. Yeah.
I wonder how I even got these. I remember specifically having those CDs, but I feel like they must have been gifted to me.
What?
Or Mickey Unwrapped and Kermit Unplugged.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you waited in line the day they came out.
I probably saw a commercial on Nickelodeon.
Michelle
and was like,
protested at Congress because they wanted to censor Mickey Unwrapped.
It did
she
do that.
was like, let the mouse in my house. You know? I think I saw footage of you in a documentary.
Oh, yeah. With my ears on?
Yeah, with your ears on. And the reason why I asked that is because for me, at a very early age, like Run DMC, when I got into them in like 82 or 83, was the thing where like and not even just my mom and my dad, like nobody else in my house wanted anything to do with that, like at all. It was like the first decision I made where like I wasn't listening to Van Halen because my older brothers were. I wasn't listening to like Culture Club because we saw them on TV and we watched them, like watched the variety shows as a family. Like this was the thing that I was like, this is mine. You know, and it's funny because my brother-in-law and I still joke about it to this day, but like he was the first person I knew that had like a huge system with a CD player, you know, because again, this is when CDs first came out. And I remember bringing over Run DMC Raising Hell on CD and he was like, absolutely not. Like you will not play that. And this is the same guy that now he'll come over for music night and he'll pull Eminem on vinyl. And every time he pulls it, I'm always like, oh,
not up in here.
Yeah, look who wants me to play the rap music, you know. But that for me, that was like the first thing that I was like, this is going to be mine, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything of those that you feel like, and like I say, I don't really like this term, but like that you feel like you grew out of, or like will you still throw on anything that was your favorite from that time?
Yeah, I literally, so some of when I got into like heavy metal and all that kind of, some of those bands were like not around for very long, so they just kind of disappeared. And so I obviously don't. Who
was it? Was it Seven Dust? There was somebody that you were like, holy crap, they're still around. Like on this show, you were
Fear Factory.
Okay, that's right.
And then there's like Cold Chamber and those kind of bands.
Oh
like,
my god,
I used to listen to that a lot, and I don't anymore, just because like it's not a thing anymore. It just went by the wayside.
GNR is like the only band that I do that has such a limited catalog that I still listen to regularly. Yeah. Like pretty much anybody else, like if you have 1, 2, or 3 albums, I'm like, all right, well, there's only so many times I can listen to 1, 2, or 3 albums.
Yeah, when Fear Factory recently released one of their albums on vinyl for the first time, that's when I was like, oh my, I can't believe they're still a band. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But other than that, like anything, all of the names that I mentioned so far, I still listen to today because they're still putting on.
And you wouldn't like turn it off, or anything, right? So for me, what's funny is Weird Al kind of changed one huge thing about the things that I feel like I definitely grew out of was. Before I got turned on to Weird Al, any song that was silly, I would listen to like nonstop. Like any comedy song, like Steve Martin had King Tut, there was a Curly Shuffle. There was a lot of like Rodney Dangerfield even had and anything that was silly, I would latch on to like immediately. But then when I came into Weird Al and how really smart all the Weird Al lyrics are, it was a new level to me to where I was like, okay, well now I can't listen to anything silly anymore. Like Weird Al is hilarious and very smart.
Yeah.
And once I hit Weird Al, I literally felt like, okay, I can't listen to any of that old stuff that's just silly to be silly anymore. And even now, if I'll listen to like the Casey Kasem Countdown or something, and one of those songs happens to be, you know, in the top 10 or top 20 or something, I'm just like, I can't believe I perpetrated this garbage. You know, like, I get like mad, you know, because Weird Al just played at a whole different level than everybody else.
You know, I didn't appreciate Weird Al until later in life because for a long time when I was younger, he was just very gimmicky to me. Like I just thought it was like a big joke and like, you're making fun of another song, whatever.
You and the record label.
Yeah.
The record label feels that every time Weird Al comes out with a new record, they're like, didn't we already do this?
Yeah, but
like, eat it, right? You know, and he's like, yeah. And also every couple of years I put out a whole other record, you know.
And then, but when you actually look into it, man, like he's brilliant when it comes to the stuff that he does.
Dude's got like 15 studio records. Yeah. They're all brilliant. His last, which I believe will be his last full studio album, Mandatory Fun, debuted at #1. Like, and it's brilliant. Yeah. It's one of his best records, and it's the last one that, as far as I know, it's the final full album that he's going to do.
Why?
Digital world. He's just, you know, and how fast the world moves now. Like what used to be years ago, like he could put out a record of everything going on. Like if you take the album Off the Deep End by Weird Al, it was anchored by Smells Like Nirvana, but on it is like a parody of, Nelly, or not Nelly, that's on Poodle Hat, but Milli Vanilli and a lot of the other things that were going on at that time musically, so you could get 2 or 3 year cycle out of it because all of that music was an ongoing thing.
Right.
And now everything that comes out is flash in the pan. Yep. Like things are like, you know, you'd be able to say like, this song was #1 for like 17 weeks. Now it's like if a song's #1 for more than 1 week, it's like an earth-shaking hit, you know, because the cycle's so fast. So Weird Al, he's just like, why bother with the whole thing? You know, things move so fast. If he's going to do anything, he can just release something digitally and get in on that, you know?
Right.
So he hasn't come right out and said that he's done, but it sounds like he's, and his career is amazing.
How old is he?
He's in his 50s now.
Oh, I thought he was way older than that.
I don't, you'd have to Google it. I honestly don't know. I'm not saying that to be funny. I don't know. But I just recently went on another podcast called the Beard Al podcast where they review beer and Weird Al.
Yeah.
And we talked in depth about Poodle Hat, which I think is his most underrated record.
61.
61. Okay. There is a song on that record that's a style parody called Bob, and it sounds like every Bob Dylan song ever. And the entire song is palindromes. The entire song. So, for example, there's a line in it, it's one of my favorite lines in it, where he says, "Lonely Tylenol," but like that's backwards. It's and the whole song is that way. The entire song is palindromes. You know, it was just amazing. So anyways, that was one of those things that I felt like I grew out of, but like everything else, I don't feel like I've ever had like a guilty pleasure or something that I've grown out of. Like Michelle, if they do a 2LP 45 RPM remaster of Mickey Unwrapped, obviously you're going to buy that.
Well, duh.
Yeah. But
well,
do you have anything that you feel like you grew out of?
I was going to say that from that, I wasn't hard into boy bands. Like, I wasn't like, you had to pick one, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or whatever. Like, I was like 98 Degrees,
Even
Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC's clearly better.
NSYNC, the Moffats.
Can I get an agreement on that?
No.
NSYNC
Kyle,
is
you're
better,
with me.
yes.
Okay.
I've seen 98 Degrees in concert, so.
But still NSYNC though.
So I wouldn't necessarily say that like they're a guilty pleasure, but if they came on the radio, I would be like, yeah, that was cool. But I wouldn't purposely go put No Strings Attached on right now.
Oh, I totally would. I'm not even being funny.
That's a bad example because that's a good record.
That is a great record. Side note, and I promise I'll get off the Weird Al soapbox. On Poodle Hat, he has a song called eBay. That's what I bought on eBay instead of I Want It That Way. And it's like the most underrated Weird Al song. It is brilliant.
Is Just Got Paid on No Strings Attached?
Yes.
Fucking shit.
I know. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I just the other day, I went to Discogs completely unironically because I don't do anything ironically as far as music goes. And that's a shot at the people that wear like a Britney Spears shirt when they're like, oh, look, I'm a metal guy wearing a Britney. Yeah, you gave her money to wear that. Ha. But I just went to Discogs the other day and I was like, why don't I own No Strings Attached on vinyl? And I found out why. It's only available on Picture Disc. Yeah. Picture Discs are the devil. And we haven't even done an episode or a series of episodes about vinyl, but we will at some point. And when we do, I will explain in depth why no one should ever buy a picture disc.
Okay, what about Millennium?
Millennium by
Backstreet Boys? Wasn't that the name of the album?
I would not.
No, but I'm saying, so like, I wouldn't go put that record on.
I'm the only person in the United States who will ever say this phrase, but when you say Millennium, I think Robbie Williams first.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Do you remember that song?
I think that is called Millennium, though.
No, but there was, I think, what's that? The single off of that was fantastic. The Backstreet Boys song, Incomplete. Was the single off of that. That's that's almost a rock song from the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, no, I was right. You made me second guess myself.
Like I said, I'm
Larger
literally
Than Life's on there.
I'm the only person in the U.S. who thinks of Robbie Williams before Backstreet Boys. But I would say it's probably not. There's a lot of that.
Show me the meaning of being lonely. Come on.
Yeah. Well.
But anyways, I don't think that I would.
That's this generation's Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Yes. I wouldn't go out of my way to put a lot of that music on, but it's not a guilty pleasure.
But you wouldn't be ashamed. Like if you had a playlist and it came on.
I'm still playing Just Got Paid in my head as we're talking right now. And I'm not ashamed to say it out loud.
Right. So, but that's what I say. Like, okay, so, and this is such a dumb example, but like that, and I'm sure neither of you have ever heard the Curly Shuffle, but there was a song that was very famous that was called the Curly Shuffle that was like in the top 10. And it's based off of like samples of the Three Stooges. But if that came on, I would be embarrassed that that's playing. You know what I mean? And I think stuff like that goes through ebbs and flows too, like with the Bee Gees. There was like a solid 20 years where like you would get made fun of if you were a Bee Gees fan. And now all of a sudden they're like, super cool.
I will say,
wait, you don't like the Bee Gees, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not all of a sudden super cool.
Listen to me clearly when I say this. You are very in the minority in not liking the Bee Gees. If you rewind it 10 years, everybody would have agreed with you because nobody wanted to say they were a Bee Gees fan. But here now today, everybody's coming out of the woodwork.
You know what ruined it for me?
If you say the Barry Gibb Show.
The Barry Gibb Talk Show.
The Barry Gibb Talk Show is awesome.
No. Talking it up.
Yeah, on the Barry Gibb Talk Show. Which, by the way, based on the amazing Bee Gees song, Nights on Broadway. Fantastic song. And
I just can't. I can't.
That's
so annoying. I want to reach across the table and smack you in the face.
And how that came about was literally, this is according to out of their mouths, Fallon and and Mulaney got all hammered, and they were like, "What if Barry Gibb had a talk show and he talked the way he sings?" Because like, how deep is your love? How deep is your love? Right? So like that, they were like, "What if he did a talk show and he did that?" So that's why he's always like,
Wait, that's not how he talks in real life?
No, believe it or not. There's a whole documentary you can watch where he's talking because he's the last man standing. He's the last BG alive. I bet that is a pass for you. I'm sorry, Kyle. I know you're good. I went off on a Bee Gees tangent.
I will say,
Kyle, do you have anything to add?
Back in the day, I was less open about what I listened to because it wasn't cool to listen to that or whatever. And as I got older, I just stopped giving a fuck about what anyone thought about anything.
I was going to say, we talked about that where you went through a phase of like, oh, I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, and there was also times where I listened to only metal, and like my entire CD book, I had 2 separate CD books. One was all metal and rock, and the other one was all rap and R&B. And
whether or not there was a lady in the vehicle.
And one would get put away, and I would just listen to all metal, and then it wouldn't. And then eventually,
it would phases.
Yeah, and would go back into listening to all like Cash Money and No Limit and everything that they had to offer.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I stopped caring if people thought it was cool or not, and I was like, I'm going to listen to whatever I want to listen to.
That's the best piece of advice I can give any music fan is do not care what anybody like. I very much care, and Michelle, this is going to come as a shock to you. I very much care about trying to turn people on to things, like trying to get people onto music. Onto music.
This is quickly becoming a smart podcast.
Yep. And I very much care about getting people, like I'm always going on about later Warrant material, and being like, you really should give that a chance or whatever. If somebody was to come to me and be like, oh, you listen to Warrant? I would be like, yeah, and there's the door.
Yeah.
Like I don't, like you should listen to whatever you want. And if you want to get other people into it, if you want to turn other people on to music, then that's cool. But I would put, going forward in your life, I would put zero amount of time into worrying about what anybody thinks about what you listen to.
Yeah, that all of that built into and became what all the eclectic taste that I have now, and everything that I listen to stems from what I used to listen to or hide that I listened to.
Well, it's like that new Foo Fighters record. There's a couple of songs on there that are damn near disco, and like, yep. Bring that to me. What's funny is I didn't mention this in Jammy Jams, but I had 3 sources that I very much trust about music say almost identical. 3 independent sources say almost identical things about the album. And the other thing that made me be like, oh, okay, I should buy this is anytime I've seen social media ads for the Facebook on Facebook for the Foo Fighters album, almost all the Foo Fighters fans are losing their mind saying how terrible the album is. And I was like, okay, then this is probably for me. This is probably something because, and I don't mean this as disrespect to them, but like there's probably a lot of them that are just like, okay, I just want to hear a Foo Fighters song, and that's, over and over. And me, I'm like, all right, well, I'd like to hear them grow some, and like do something different. What are some of your artists or songs from being a kid that are still your favorites, Michelle? What's in heavy rotation from when you were a kid? I mean, we've labored Kermit Unplugged and Mickey Unwrapped. We know that.
So I would say from me being a kid, and heavy rotation for me is a lot of Fleetwood Mac. That's just from like when I grew up. And I think that I think I fell out of that when I was like in high school.
Do you go much outside of Rumors?
No.
You should. I would really strongly suggest that you check out Tango in the Night.
You're going to say, do you go outside much?
yeah. Do you know about outdoors? I would strongly suggest that you check out Tango in the Night.
Okay.
Is why I'm asking. I love that album. And I think like every other song on it, you're going to be like, oh, I know this song. Right. Because it had massive hits, but it's a really good album.
Yeah, I would say like, I'm still like when Bob Seger comes on, and I know that he's not your jam, but like, I'm just like, it just brings me back to my childhood. And so like, I feel like that's always in rotation for me.
I feel like Bob Seger's made a comeback in my life because I listen to so much less radio now. Because just being in Detroit, you guys know this. Yeah. It's like turn the page will end on Detroit radio, and they'll be like Bob Seger on WPIX, and coming up next is the same Bob Seger song again. You're like, damn. I think like I will throw on Seger on my own now, which I never would have because if you're near a radio, here in Detroit, you're going to hear it. What about you, Kyle, as far as stuff like when you were a kid that you still are some of your favorites?
Still listen to Slipknot, still listen to Marilyn Manson, still listen to Garth Brooks, all this stuff that literally I can't think of anything that I was exposed to or used to listen to that I don't listen to or I wouldn't check out if something new came out again.
That's an interesting point. I can't think of anybody like that either that I would be like, Well, maybe like we were just listening to Buck Cherry 15 last night, and I was talking about how like Buck Cherry's one like a Foo Fighters thing where like they have a lot of records that are just like this is a Buck Cherry album.
Yeah.
And I think if they put out a new one, I probably wouldn't rush to hear it.
Right.
But they're about the only band I can think of.
And like, I mean, if Puff Daddy doesn't put out anything anymore, or hasn't in a long time, but if he did, I would check it out just because I listened to all the stuff that he's put out over the years and liked some of it, didn't like some of it, but there's not anything that I don't really listen to that I didn't before.
And the only thing that I've heard of recently that made me think to ask you guys that question was specifically those comedy songs that weren't Weird Al. Like when I've heard them again due to like streaming and them, coming on like playlists or whatever, I've been like, oh, I absolutely never want to hear this song ever again. And I thought that was amazing. Like I remember clearly running out to buy some of those 7-inch singles when I was a kid. And like now you couldn't pay me to listen to those songs.
I feel like there's probably some pop punk and stuff like that I listened to when I was in high school that I loved, and if you would ask me today, I'd be like, I love that, and then if you play it, I'd be like, oh no. Like that's not how I remember it.
Do the old who put this on?
So I feel like that, and that has, I can't think of one specific example, but that has happened to me recently where I was just like I need to stop telling people I like this band. Like, it's just it's a memory. Like I don't
I mean, you have a standard to uphold. Like people know you as the Mickey Unwrapped girl. You know what I mean?
I can't just go around saying I like any band.
Yeah, you can't just go around throwing recommendations out there.
I know.
I will say that I in general give everything a shot, even if I think up front I'm not going to like it. I will listen to it just to see if I like it. If I don't, then that's fine. I listen to something different.
I've been doing that more lately.
Yeah.
Too. Even I continue to get like punk is just not my thing. Punk music, and I continue to try and give punk a shot, and it's not working out between me and punk. But like I continue to try.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why not?
And eventually you might find something that you like. You might run into something that you're like, oh damn.
Blind Nut finds a squirrel every so often. Maybe some punk band will do the right thing.
Did you say Blind Nut finds a squirrel?
Yep, I sure did. Yep.
Got it.
Well, let me say this now in the defense of my mismanaged sentence. The chances of a blind nut finding a squirrel are probably the chances of me liking a punk song eventually.
Well, to be fair, all nuts are blind. So.
Listen, I probably could have asked you this before I set up our ad earlier, but are you a nudist?
I am.
Well, we had a fun time with this show until Michelle got outed as a nudist. Okay, so I had a lot of fun with this one. We actually, believe it or not, everybody, we've planned ahead a couple of weeks. This is earth-shaking news. Yes. Well, we half-ass planned ahead.
Who's we?
You're soaking in it. The three of us. So we are going to, by popular request, we are going to start sprinkling in album reviews. And holy cows, this have some comedy potential. We don't. Now, here's where we have planned. We don't know what album we're going to review.
Or who's going to pick it.
Right. Or who's going to pick it. Next week, we are going to bring you our first album review episode. And, oh, Jesus, oh, Lord. I have a list of albums that I want to throw up there.
I think we need to rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll take that off air. And so.
Is that what Rochambeau is?
Yes. And so, questions you could ask me when the clock's not running. We're going to do that next week. Then after that, we are going to do an episode dedicated to women who rock. So it'd just be me and Kyle for that episode.
It's dedicated to me?
It would be
oh my God.
disrespectful to have you on a show about something you'll never attain. It would be rude, you know. We're going to do that. And then we've got a couple other things planned for in the future. So it is going to be fun and fantastic. And like we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Bye.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.